What do you like about the school system in Canada? You have said what you dislike. What do you like about Canada school system? You don't have anything to compare to. You're a parent and you're looking to send your underage children to Canada. Make sure you watch this video. Make sure that you send it to somebody if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Hello my people, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. Welcome to an awesome video. Today I'm doing a sit down video. I hardly do a sit down video, and I'm doing it with who other than my son Jason. Jason, introduce yourself, or let me introduce him. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Joy Ayogu. I am a mom of 3 living in Ontario, Canada, and I have my son here who is in high school. Today we're doing a sit down video because one of my subscribers have asked me a question, and I'm going to read out the question and then we'll try to pick it out one by one. I'm looking down because I want to read out the question the way she asked it. So she wanted to know how so basically she wants to know more about the school system here in Canada, the subject for all older children like 12, 14 and 9-year-old, and how the school runs in Canada. So that's basically what her question was. So it's more like a general question, but we'll try to break it down a little bit more. Hopefully we'll be able to answer all the questions that she has in this video. Let me just so hopefully we'll be able to answer her question properly in this video. If not, after this video and we couldn't answer your question, or you still have some burning question, leave it in the comment section, okay? And this is a good opportunity to let you know that if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, turn on your post notification. That way you'll be notified anytime I post a new video. So the reason why I'm just making this as a sit down video, since she has this question, I believe that there will be other people who might have this question and will also benefit from this video. So I'm going to start by explaining a little bit about the school system here in Canada. So there are a lot of programs that are run by the provincial government. In fact, majority of the programs, when I say programs like healthcare, school, social programs, all of that are run by the provincial government. Yes, they do get money from the federal government, but each province will run their program. It's only few programs that are run by the federal government. Most other things are run by the provincial government, and education is one of them. And we live in Ontario, so each province might run their education program a little bit different.
But it's also different for every city, for every school board.
Yes, I'm going to get to that too. So in Ontario we have the Ministry of Education, right? They set out the curriculum for all the schools in Ontario, and then each city, like he mentioned, each city will now have different activities or how they will incorporate those requirements into the school activities so that they'll cover all, for each grade they'll make sure that they cover all of those requirements. But the way they might run it might be a little bit different. For instance, we used to live in Toronto. Yeah, we used to live in Toronto, and in Toronto you have you see the way they run their own is a little bit different. You have elementary school. Actually, you have kindergarten, which is from age 4 to age 5, and then from age 6 you enter elementary school.
Well, kindergarten is in like elementary school. They have the same building.
Yeah, but it's not considered elementary.
It's considered preschool. Yeah. Anyway,
but elementary school is from 6 years, right? And this is where it differs from city to city. In Toronto, you go elementary school from 6 years, and then some school stops at 5. You enter into middle school because you stopped at 5, right?
Yeah.
At Derrida.
At grade 5.
Grade 5, and then you enter into middle school. Some school go all the way to grade 6, and then they enter into middle school. why we moved in a different city, the city of Brantford. It's a little bit smaller than, well, it's much smaller than Toronto. So here you only have elementary school. Here kindergarten is the same across board, but then here you have elementary school, which goes from grade 1 to grade 8, right? And then you enter high school from grade 9. Okay, so those are the differences. In also in Toronto, or I think this is across board, it is across board. Anywhere you are in Canada, there are 2 public school system, and all this I'm talking about is about the public school system. So you have the public school system, which consists of the general public school and the Catholic public school, Catholic district school board. The schools that are sponsored by the government here are the public school and the Catholic school board. Any other school, you have a private school or religious school, is sponsored privately. It has nothing to do with the government. I don't know who set their curriculum. Maybe they still follow the same curriculum as the one set by the provincial government, but that's just the school system here. You might ask, why is it that Catholic schools are sponsored by the government and not other, religious school? The answer is it was just part of a treaty when there was long time ago, long time ago, when British and the French, they had a war, right? Yes, and obviously the British won, and part of the reconciliation was a treaty that the French get to keep their language, their culture, and their religion, which is predominantly Catholic. Okay, so that way, to make sure that they preserve all of this, they had a treaty, meaning that the government will continue to sponsor their education system, and it continued up to today. Here, you need to enter school at a certain age, which is at the age of 4, you enter kindergarten, junior kindergarten, and then senior kindergarten. Okay, even if your child is so brilliant, they don't rush children here. That's just the system. That's one thing I like about the system here. The system is it's not too pushy like the system in Nigeria. The system here is so calm. Everything is about encouragement, not about punishment. They don't give children punishment here because they failed, they didn't learn according to how other children are learning. No, here is just easy. It's about play. They start with the play system. It's very in kindergarten. They don't grade them the way they grade people in Nigeria. So you enter school at 4 years old, and which is junior kindergarten and senior kindergarten, and then elementary school is from 6 years old. If you think that your child is very special, like very smart, what they do is this exam they write called EQAO, right?
It's not what EQAO is. EQAO is just like for the government to see how much you're learning.
Yeah, but if you do exceptionally well in the EQAO, you can request they can put you in a specialized school.
Yeah, like very specialized school.
Yeah, but it's from the EQAO that they see if your child is very above average. Because I remember when you were in grade 3, from grade 1 to grade 3, your teachers were just saying how very ahead you were with compared to other students, and they were saying, okay, they were giving me all this option of all the other schools, the special schools where you can be sent to and the only way they will recognize that you're very special is when you write the EQAO, and then based on the average they will pick out students. Okay, these students are doing so exceptional above their grade, above their age, and they will put them in a separate school. They have different schools, especially this was when we were in Toronto. Okay, so but like he said, the EQAO is actually administered 4 times or 3 times? 4 times, grade 3,
6, 9, and 12.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect their report card. It's not like, oh, this is what they use in marking their report. No, this is just to measure provincial standard, to see where from different school where children are in the curriculum, okay, and then see, you know, where they need improvement, where they need more support. So that's what it's used for. You enter at 6 and then you continue until you get to grade 12. But there was exam you said you guys take, right? What exam is that?
OSSLT.
What is that?
It's just like it's like EQAO.
Look up or look in the camera.
Like how EQAO is for math, the OSSLT you take once, which is it's a literacy test.
Literacy test. So it's like it's the same as EQAO, but at what grade do you take that?
Grade 10.
Grade 10, and you only take it once.
You can get a retake, or you could do a class that will teach you whatever the exam is, like the basics of the exam and stuff like that. Like the
You mean if you fail?
If you fail.
So it's pass and fail?
Pass and fail. No, not really. It's like the same way, like above 50% is a pass, below it is a fail. But for this test, you have to get 75 and above to pass, and lower than that's a fail.
Okay. And that's you need it as a requirement to finish high school.
Yeah.
And if you don't get you get a diploma for high school, for finishing high school, right? Okay. All right. So another thing we want to talk about is there are two programs. Kind of, is it a program? Because you have the English here in majority of the province except Quebec. I'm not sure about Quebec system. You have an option of going to just actually 3. Going to full French.
Kind of like 5, because there's full French. There's 6. Full French, French immersion, core French, English, Laurier, and IEP.
What is Laurier and what is IEP?
Laurier is like this, like I'm not exactly sure what it is, but whenever I go into the course selector, it's listed under a different special course where French is. And IEP is just if you need special requirements, like if you have a really bad eyesight, if you're autistic.
So you mean for special kids, special needs? Okay.
But like not really. You don't have to be like Down syndrome type of special. Just if like you have trouble hearing and stuff, or if you need like reading, even like a little reading glasses.
Yeah. So disability. If you have some kind of disability or.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly what you said. You have those special school for children with special need or any kind of learning disability. They can put you in those kind of school, right? But they also have like a support. Because I see that they also have like children with special need in general school, right?
I mean like in the classrooms, like.
In the classroom, okay, it's not like a separate school.
Yeah, except you might get a separate classroom. So for example, in my school, you have something called the resource room, which is just like if you have, let's say, you need glasses, little things that might make it harder for you to learn, or if you have like dyslexia, they'll put you in a different quiet room where people are doing their tests, so it's easier for you to focus, like ADHD, stuff like that. And then Laurier is sort of like French, where it's another like little branch of the school system, and it's like a different pathway. And then core French, you don't get a French immersion diploma from doing, actually. It's just to learn it in French. Only French immersion gives you the French immersion diploma. And then full French, you have to go to a separate school to do full French.
Yes. So before I said there's only Catholic school board and the public school board. Under the same public school, right, you have the French, the full French. So if you want to go into full French, but the requirement to go into full French is a little bit different, because when I wanted to put him and my daughter, my first daughter, into full French, but because my daughter has no background in French and we have no background in French, and she was going into grade 1 at that time, they had to do like a literacy test for her to see if she can, read some words in French and actually just read and understand French. But she had no background at all, so she was disqualified. And the way they do it here is that if they choose one person, if they accept one person from the family, they have to accept the whole children in the family. So because she was disqualified, or not disqualified, she was not accepted, he was not also accepted, so he continued in French immersion. So they have the full French, English, and then French immersion. And the thing is this, even when you're in English, just full English, at grade 4 they start introducing you to French, because this is the French and English country, right? French and English is our official language, so they try to incorporate, French and English in almost everything.
I wanted to talk about that. Sorry, I cut you off. I want to talk about that a little bit because for like Victoria, she's doing French and Australia for 4 years, so from grade 4 to grade 8. Then from there, you can choose if you want to do core French. That's the whole reason they have core French, if you want to do that instead. And for, some schools aren't exactly like, you don't have, like, Dufferin, for example. Dufferin's a full French school, supposed to be a full French school where you only speak French throughout the entire day, and you have one class that where you're allowed to speak English, which is English itself. But you can drop out of French if you want to. Like, so a lot of my friends, they stopped doing French during high school, so they don't have any French classes. Because the requirements for when you're a French immersion student, you have a lot less like electives. So you need to have all four French immersion courses. That makes sense. Then you need 6 courses in French where French is a language of instruction that aren't French immersion courses. So like geography, your history, your drama, and dance, and there's like 8 of them. So you like, and they count as electives. So your electives are obviously just like fun courses like automotive, graphic design, and stuff like that. So that's like one reason a lot of people drop out of French. But at the same time, when you're bilingual, it's easy for people to imagine, people will perceive you as more smart, and it makes your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, it just gives you more opportunity, right?
Yeah.
What kind of subject do you learn in elementary school?
You have English, math, French, social.
No, in elementary school. Okay, you're talking about what you learned because you were in French immersion. Okay, yeah. Just carry on.
There's gym, social studies, history, and art. Yeah.
In elementary school?
In elementary school, yeah.
How many was that?
7.
English, math,
science, history, a little bit of geography, gym, and art. That's 7, so 8 if you're in French immersion. And you have this thing called DPA, which is every single day the teacher will take you out for like 30 minutes.
Is that not gym?
No, it's not.
It's different from gym?
Yeah, to go outside for at least 60 minutes.
Yeah, even in the winter time, unless if it drops below a certain, I can't remember whether.
No, you said 20 degrees or something like
was
that.
Was it 20?
Yeah,
I think
negative 20.
Negative 20. If it drops negative 20 or above, right? Below. Is it up to negative 20 or negative 10?
It's 20.
Negative 20?
It's definitely been less than negative 10.
Yeah. So even in the winter time, they have various fun activities that kids can do, in the winter. Can you imagine if everybody just stays indoor during the winter time?
Yeah.
Which is like almost 6 months? That would be boring. Like they do need to incorporate, various things. All you need to do is dress warm. There's no bad weather. It's only about bad dressing. Once you dress well, you'll be fine. It's just that here, like recently, like winter it doesn't snow that much. It just gets extremely cold and wet and stuff. But when it does snow, when it snowed, it is bad. Remember that one day walking back from school, it's raining and hailing. It just starts beating me down as I'm walking. You mean like recently? It wasn't even winter yet. It's not even winter yet.
I guess, but like what I'm trying to say is when it snows, it will snow, and that's why they have, like, I'm pretty sure if there's more than like 15 centimeters of snow by 6:30 a.m., then they cancel school. So like after 6:30, even if it drops to minus 30, 6:30 is when they make their decision if school's gonna be open or not. And
what do you need to graduate? We already said what you need to graduate from high school. What happened?
No. That's not all the requirements. You need to have 4 years. You need to have 4 English credits, 3 science credits, 1 science credit. I think 3 math credits, 1 art credit, half a credit in civics, half a credit in careers, and 12 electives. And then obviously the French immersion thing is separate.
And then you need volunteer hours.
Yeah, you need 40 hours.
So you need 40 volunteer hours. Volunteer hours does not include paid work. Yeah. So if it's a position that is supposed to be a paid job and you go and do it, they are not going to credit you for that. So they are very, very strict or very high on work experience. It's something, because from high school, some people might just drop out of school and just start looking for a job, or they promote, different areas where children can go. You can either go to university, or you can go to college, or you can go to trade school. Yeah, so it's in high school that you can make those career paths. To make those career paths in high school, how do you go to trade school? Like, what are the requirements to go into trade school?
So there's no like set requirements. Can I talk about all of them, all the different four? Like, for example, in grade 9 there will be a little label, you could say, under all of your courses. So let's say this course is academic, which will lead to eventually to university or college, and then you have applied, which will lead to either the workplace or college. And then D stream. So grade 9 is D stream. Grade 10 is either open, which means anyone can join. Academic, which means you need to have the academic prerequisite, or applied, which is the same thing, which is also why you have little codes for your like class codes, but I'm not going to get into all that. So in grade 11 is when you really branch off, because that's when you start doing exams. So grade 11, you'll either be put into a university level class, a college level class, so those can only go to whatever they are, workplace level classes, or apprenticeship level classes. So that will be like auto or welding or construction, stuff like that.
Or electrician, yeah.
Electrician.
So
yeah.
all those trade means like
blue collar work.
Blue collar work, yeah. Just like we said, like welding, carpentry, woodworking, mechanic, yeah. Various type of mechanics, things that you do with your hand, so those are trade. You can go into that stream, or you can go into university.
Yeah.
And then there's other one, you say apprenticeship. What is the difference between apprenticeship and going to college?
Apprenticeship is the trade stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
because there's two requirements. One is the hands-on, and then you have the classroom training. Yeah, so both of them, you can become a professional trade person, whichever field you choose. What time do you guys go to school? Okay, let me answer this part. So I know different schools have different time, but the core time is normally from, I think, all over Ontario. And when we speak for Ontario. I don't know about other provinces, but I'm sure it's not far different from other provinces. So everything is similar. So here is between 8:30 a.m. in Ontario. Some schools start at 8:30 a.m. Some start at 9. Some start at 8:15 actually. Yeah, it's from 8:15 till 3:15. So some schools start at 8:15. Some schools start at 8:30. Some schools start at 9, 8:50. Yeah, 8:50, 9:15. That's the latest, 9:15, and it's always 6 hours. So whenever you start, 6 hours after that is when they close. And how are you guys graded in high school? Tell me, like, do you guys take exam?
Okay, so in grade 9 and 10, we do these things called culminating activities, which is obviously in grade 11 and 12, your exams are worth 30% of your mark. But since you can't do that in grade 10 and 9, half of it is a smaller exam, and the other half is a big project that you do that will sum up your mark.
The only time when they write exam is grade 11 and grade 12. Okay, from grade 10 downward to kindergarten, they don't write exam. They just give them, like she said, assignments, and you get report card like 3 times a year. You get the first report card, like we just got report card now, in this November, and then you get another one around February, March. Okay, so that gives you an average of where your child is, where they are struggling, what their strength, and where they need to improve. And then the final report card will come home at the end of the school year, which is June. So school starts here September, and then it ends in June. Now they get a break in December, which is mostly like a week, 2 weeks break in December. Then in March they get March break. And what else? during
you get Thanksgiving off, you get Easter off.
yeah, those are just like one days,
yeah,
right?
it's just like it's a month total in the year that you get off.
Yeah, but the main thing you guys get off is just Christmas break, which is 2 weeks. The last Friday before Christmas, they get it off, and then they start again the first Monday or Tuesday in January, and then they get 2 weeks off in March for March break. Is it 2 weeks or one week? No, 1 week. Sorry, 1 week off for March break, and then the next one is a big long vacation, which they close the last Friday. Is it last Friday in June?
It really depends, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it depends. But it's towards the end of June that the school will close, and they are off until next September.
Yeah, and like you get your report cards before the school year ends, so you don't have to go for like the last 2 weeks. Normally, I just stay home.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I think we've covered everything. If there's a burning question that we haven't covered, remember to leave it in the comment section for me. Oh yeah, I'm going to ask him one more question. Okay, you know that I went to school in Nigeria. Okay, one thing I must stress is this. You see here, they do not stress children. You see the way we push children in Nigeria. You push children to the brink. In Nigeria, they want a 3-year-old that is still in diaper to know his or her ABCs, her numbers, her times table, and all of this. A 3-year-old child here is still in
hasn't even gone to school yet.
Yeah, he's still in daycare playing with toys. They do not push children here, and I like that system. I like the system of everything is encouragement. Child play, you know, they use play to teach children. Encouragement. When you get your report card, they don't fail children here. They do not fail children because they know the impact they can have on that child's psychological development. Okay, so they will give you. That's why they give those report cards. First one, so you can see where your child is. They give you the average, right? This is the average for the class. This is where your child is. This is where they are doing good. This is where they need to improve, so that you parents, because this is a partnership. It's not just, oh, you push the child to school and the parent and the teachers will do. No, it is a partnership between the school and the parents. Okay, so that's why they send you those report cards, so you see where your children is, where your child or your children need improvement, so you can put in more effort to bring them up where they're supposed to be. But some school have breakfast where they will give children, because they know that some children come to school hungry, so they do everything, you know, to make sure that children are on the same level, that all children, whether you come from a wealthy family or from a poor family, that all of you are on the same level when it comes to learning, so that everybody is moving along. So it's not hunger that will stop a child from learning. When it comes to material, they provide all the material at school. You don't buy books unless if you want to buy extra books for them. Otherwise, all the material they use at school, they provide it at school for. Anyways, I hope that we've covered everything. If you're a parent and you're looking to send your underage children to Canada, make sure you watch this video. Make sure that you send it to somebody. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, share this video. Leave your comment in the comment section. If you think that we haven't answered all your questions, leave it in the comment section. Maybe we'll do another video, or maybe we'll do a live video. So now that you know, you were born here, so you don't know any other school system, but knowing the kind of school system that we come from, what do you like about the school system in Canada?
They help you get to and from school, because they have school buses that will come around the neighborhoods and pick you up and stuff. So that's never a problem.
Yeah, and you don't pay for that too.
Yeah.
Those are free. So if you live a certain kilometer from school, if you live too far away from school, they will give you free school buses that will come and pick you up from, you know, they have various stops. The one closest to you go and they pick you up there and they drop you off. So those are free. So they have a lot of free things here. You have said what you dislike. What do you like about Canada school system? You don't have anything to compare to. Or you said what you like. What do you dislike?
There's nothing in specific that I don't like. It's just like the one thing I don't like, how you're talking about how all kids have to rise at the same level. They kind of like emphasize they emphasize that a lot, where like if you are ahead, sometimes a teacher will say, oh, certain so and so kids like a few of you are behind, so we're gonna do this lesson, this lesson, this lesson. They want to make sure everyone learns at the same speed, but some people learn a lot faster, and then it just gets boring.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the downside, right? Because if you have some students who are way ahead and you have some students who are struggling, they try to bring those who are struggling up, so they put more emphasis, or they give more time to those people so that they can bring them along. And then those who already ahead feels like it's too boring, we keep repeating the same thing over and over again. But you can't win everywhere. It's always win and lose. If that's the only thing, is just a little bit of the what will I call it,
the good.
Disadvantage.
There's only a little bit of bad for so much good, is what
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's all we have for you today. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to this channel. And thank my amazing son Jason for coming and answering some of our questions. And I think he did good, right?
I did good.
You did good. Okay,